In this video, we are going to be breaking down and comparing all three instant funded account types offered by Top 1 Futures: the original instant funded account, the Ignite automatic funded account, and the straight to funded Sim Pro account. These have different prices, rule sets, things you need to do and not do in order to get yourself paid out. And while I think there's a preference for me individually and probably for you, you're not going to know what that is unless you put all three side by side and understand the differences. So let's jump straight into this. Now, for this example, we're going to be taking a look at the 50K account size. These are offered in different account sizes, but for simplicity to compare side by side on things like price, max loss limits, profit targets, we're going to go side by side with the 50K, which is one of the most popular account sizes. I'll note which account sizes are available by account type later in the video. Also, important to note, my code is RDF. It's the best deal on all of these right now. We're going to be breaking down the current promo with that code. If you want to check it out, I'll link it right here. I'll link it down below this video. Better than the email, the website, the Discord. Shout out Top 1 Futures for supporting it. And while we're on that, important for me to note, I am partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money, so I can't be unbiased. Important for you always to head to the site, do your own research, make your own decisions, not just for that, so you know what the most current promo is. If you're watching this sometime in the future, we could have different pricing, a promotional rule that's not being offered on one of these in the future. So always head to the site, make sure you do your own research. But I think this is a great side-by-side comparison and starting ground. So let's jump into it. We're going to go cost all the way to left-hand side first. We have the 50K instant funded at $292 with code RDF. That is 55% off right now. The 50K Ignite automatic funded, $179. So that is a very low price point on the Ignite automatic funded. The straight to funded Sim Pro all the way on the right-hand side, also coming in at $179. Those two are, I believe, 50% off and 55% off on the straight to funded Sim Pro. But that is the current promotion right now, not the base price. That's the after the promotion price. If you entered code RDF on the site right now, that's the price that's popping up. Again, if you're in the future at some point, probably going to be a different price. These may or may not be available. Always head to the site, do your own research, make sure you confirm everything straight from the site, from their frequently asked questions page right at the top. Very important to do for Top 1 Futures, for any prop firm that you're considering before you put your hard-earned money on the line. Now, consistency rule. Side by side, we have the widest, and I'm going to talk about the highlight on each one of these, who's kind of taking the win, and then at the end, who I think each one might be best for the type of trader, where they are, experience level, maybe capital, how well-funded they are. So instant funded, on the left-hand side, we have a 20% consistency rule. That's the widest out of all of these. Standard 20% is what you see across a lot of the instant funded prop firms in the futures space. No single day of profit can be larger than 20% of the total profit when you go to request a withdrawal. I have videos breaking down and giving examples on these. They have them on the frequently asked questions page. We're not going to go into too much detail, but that's the rule for the 50K instant funded. The 50K Ignite automatic funded in the middle, we have a 15% consistency rule. So still that standard consistency rule, but it is tighter. 15% is going to be more difficult to work with. You're not able to have as large of winning days, going to take you a little bit longer to work towards that payout. In the 50K straight to funded Sim Pro, it's something different altogether. It's the equity stability score, the ESS. What this one does really quickly is it takes your best profitable day and your worst red day, add those together, and that total cannot be more than 20% of your total profit when you go to request a withdrawal. So the main difference is it's taking into account your worst losing day, making that, I believe, the tightest one to work with. You not only have to watch your upside, but you also have to watch your downside. Now, there's going to be some other rules with that account that are different that I think a trader that's able to handle something like an intraday trailing drawdown may be able to work with that ESS score, but I would put that on the tightest out of all three of these. I also have a video dedicated specifically to that ESS score, so you can understand exactly what it is. You could stop now and go watch that if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's the quick breakdown on the consistency versus ESS on these. So far, Ignite automatic funded and straight to funded Sim Pro taking the cake on price, almost over $100 less than the $292 for the instant funded. The instant funded having the widest consistency rule. Ignite automatic funded, a little bit tighter. Straight to sim funded Pro with the ESS, going to be the tightest out of all of these. Now, these all do have a daily loss limit. It's a soft breach, meaning that if you hit the daily loss limit, you're liquidated, you're locked out of the account for the next trading day, until the next trading day, excuse me. But it's not a violation where you lose the account. Instant funded, going to take the W on this one at $12.50. That's the widest daily loss limit out of all three of these. The Ignite and the straight to funded have $1,000 for the 50K account size. The max loss limit on these is going to be best on the instant funded at $2,000. The 50K Ignite automatic funded, also 4%, $2,000. A little bit tighter on the 50K straight to sim funded Pro at $1,625. That's your trailing max loss limit. Now, jumping into the trailing style for all of these, we have trailing end of day drawdown, again, taking the W for both of these tied. The instant funded and the Ignite automatic funded also both do have the trailing end of day drawdown. The 50K straight to sim funded Pro is going to be that intraday trailing drawdown on unrealized profit. In my opinion, that one is the most difficult to work with. It trails with you as you are in profit running before you realize it. Plenty of traders that can work with that very successfully. We see it with that at a lot of other firms, but it is worth noting that I believe that is the tightest one. Now, the drawdown lock, at what point does that max loss limit stop trailing up with you? On the instant funded, it's $100 above starting balance. $50,100 after you put over $2,000 in the account, it locks at the balance plus 100. Same with the 50K Ignite automatic funded. The straight to funded, I'm going to get tired of saying these names, but I got to break it down. The straight to funded Sim Pro is lock after first payout. So that one also going to be second to these other two as it is continuing to trail up with you until you take your first payout. It's not locking at the balance plus 100. All of these are instant funded. No challenge, no activation fee. They are even across the board here. No time limits when you get into trading these. You are trading towards profit. You stand to withdraw from day one. So these are comparing all three instant funded, not to be confused with the name on the first one, account types. Now, interesting spot here, profit required to take a payout. We have $3,000, 6% on the instant funded, and over on the right-hand side, the straight to funded Sim Pro. The one that's taken the W here is in the middle, the 50K Ignite automatic funded. You only have to put up 5%, $2,500 on the 50K before you are eligible to take a payout. Now, on the instant funded and the straight to funded Sim Pro, it is a lower percent on subsequent payouts, but we're looking at that first payout target, first profit target. That Ignite automatic funded is going to take the W in this category. Max payout per withdrawal. 50K instant funded and 50K straight to funded Sim Pro are equal. You're able to take out $2,500 of the $3,000 profit target that you put up. A very reasonable percent when you compare this against other firms in the industry, up to $12,500 if you are copy trading 5 accounts with each of these. Middle, we have the 50K Ignite automatic funded is going to be second to these ones where we have $1,000 max withdrawal per payout, up to $6,000 if you're copy trading 6 accounts. Profit split is the same across the board on these, 90-10 profit split from day one. Minimum trading days. We have no minimum trading days on the 50K instant funded and the Ignite account. We have a 10 minimum trading days and 7 profitable trading days. What they're defining as a profitable day is 0.1% of your balance or more. So you got to put up $50 or more, 7 of those 10 minimum trading days between each payout and before your first payout. News trading on these is allowed across the board. No limitations on high impact news or any type of news for that matter. Copy trading is allowed on all of these, but it differs. For the instant funded, you're able to copy trade 5 of the 25K and the 50K, which we're talking about here, and 3 of the 100K or the 150K. For the Ignite automatic funded, you're able to copy trade up to 6. That's the best. That's a W for this category, up to 6 accounts copy traded of any of the account sizes. And the straight to sim funded Pro, a close second there, up to 5 of any of the account sizes. Account sizes available. The only real difference here, I'll just make it simple. The Ignite automatic funded does not offer the 150K. We have a 25, 50, 100, and 150K across the board on all of these, except the Ignite automatic funded, no 150K. They have a 25, 50, and 100K. We are able to trade same platforms across these, obviously. Project X, Quant Tower, Hour and Trade of 8 coming soon. If you're watching this video in the future, you're going to want to check the website because I'm sure it's going to be available very, very, very soon. Most of these are really simple, so before we just jump right through, I'm going to go to the one that is not the same. It's the max contracts that you're allowed to trade and or a scaling rule. There's no scaling rule on any of these. You're able to trade up to the max allowable amount. On the instant funded and the straight to funded Sim Pro, it's 4 minis, 40 micros. On the Ignite automatic funded, it is tighter. It's 3 minis, 30 micros. And before I go through the rest of it, I just kind of want to recap here and give you my input on which one is standing out in which category. The 50K instant funded overall, just a quick breakdown, you're looking at the highest price for the widest rule set, right? Objectively, that's what we're looking at. It's the highest price out of all three. You have overall the widest rule set when it comes to things like your consistency rule, your daily loss limit, max loss limit, and then how much you're able to take out per payout, $2,500 of that $3,000. The 50K straight to funded Sim Pro is going to be a very low price, a tighter rule set, a very aggressive rule set. This is going to be designed for consistent traders that can work with that intraday trailing drawdown, a tight max loss limit, but you're able to take out a large amount of profit, right? $2,500 on that $3,000, and the price of the account is only $179, right? So that's kind of where that one shines. The Ignite automatic funded, I think, is a really interesting one. It's kind of a middle ground between the two, but a great starter account. It's the lowest price account at $179, again, tied for the straight to Sim funded Pro. But it is an instant funded, a little bit tighter, but it's a standard consistency rule. Nice wide max loss limit, really reasonable profit target, lower profit target than the other two. A tighter max withdrawal per payout, right? That's where they are going to tighten up. But you're also able to copy trade a bunch of them. If you were comfortable with that price, you're able to copy trade up to 6. Quick math, 6 times 179, just over $1,000, right? Under $1,100. You're able to turn that into 6,000, right? Before profit split if you're trading towards that first payout copy trading. So again, I don't think there's any one best of these accounts as a whole. It just depends on what you want out of a prop firm account. Do you want a much lower price with a tighter rule set and a wide payout amount, a large payout amount? Do you want a very low price, a nice decent rule set with a modest payout amount? You want the best of all worlds and you're willing to pay more for it. Are you heavy into copy trading? You know, maybe it's something in between there that's going to work best for you. But that's why I like to do these breakdowns. I don't think there's any this is the best, right? Because the best for who? I think it depends on where you're at, skill-wise, how much risk you want to put on the line. The other important thing to note here is you are able to copy trade batches of these. So you can't copy trade across all of them maxed out. You cannot copy trade them all in one batch. Physically, Project X will not allow you to do that. But you can, for example, copy trade 3 150K instant fundeds, 6 of the 50K Ignite automatic funded, and 5 of the straight to funded Sim Pro. You could trade them all individually if you wanted to, but you can copy trade against different batches. So maybe it's different strategies that you work with. I know a lot of traders like to have different accounts for different times of the day, different sessions, right? Different instruments, different approaches. You can do that with Top 1 Futures. They're giving you access to a lot of capital here. Again, one of the best rule sets when you look at things like the instant funded against other prop firms' flagships, or the lowest cost in the industry for things like an instant funded account. Now, just to rip through the rest of this pretty quick, platforms available are the same like we talked about. Minimum trade duration, 10-second minimum hold time for these. It's excessive violations. It is not every single one that's going to be penalized. You can read the rules on the frequently asked questions. I have a separate video about that as well. Path to live account. This is similar for all of these. 2 to 3 payouts from the same account. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but Top 1 Futures does have one of the fastest paths to a live account in the industry. Max capital to live account is the same from all of these, up to 10% of your starting balance, $5,000 in the 50K account. Live scaling plan, yes, for all of these. The consideration for the live benefits is the same for all of these accounts, no matter which one you come from. And again, we talked about the contract scaling requirements. Tighter in the Ignite automatic funded, 3 minis, 30 micros, 4 minis, and 40 micros on the instant funded and the straight to Sim funded Pro. I hope this breakdown helped you guys out. If you want to watch me trade live, I do it 100% free every dang day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, Kick, and X. You could also leave questions down below this video. You could hop in my free Discord, 100% free trading Discord. If you have questions, more than happy to try to help you guys out. Code RDF gets it done on these guys right now. 55 and 50% off if you want to check this out. Link down below this video. Feel free to head to the site. As always, do your own research, make your own decisions. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Trading is extremely risky and most traders do lose money. Make sure you read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Appreciate you guys watching this long. Hope to see you trading live.